The first reaction is a surprise because the left was not supposed to win the election or to finish first in the run. And the second surprise is the defeat of the National Front. Obviously, the Front Républicain, that means that all the parties who don't belong to the National Front are against the National Front, has been a succeed. And so everybody from the left to the center has joined their force to prevent the National Front to come to power. The left is united, and they decide, the four parties has decided to propose one person, we don't know who for the time being, but only one person to be prime minister. But the President Macron is not obliged to select him or her, and he will try to find another coalition based on his own parties. I'm not sure that he could succeed forming this new coalition because from the right to the left, the other parties don't want to join the Macron coalition. So I think there is a lot of, in fact, tractation. It's a little bit like if we come back to the Fourth Republic, because usually the Fifth Republic has given clear result for the election. Now it's very different because we are three main blocks, more or less on the same level. And so they have to find a coalition because none of them is able to govern alone. And so it will be very difficult. The solution could be a government, a minority government from the left, trying to have the support of other parties for some text, but I'm not sure that Macron will give them this possibility early. Even if the National Front tries to appear as a normal party, it has frightened a lot of voters. And these people are really frightened. They fear really the arrival of power of the National Front due to his racist position. And I think that the declaration of some leaders of National Fronts putting into question the double nationality of some people has frightened many voters. It's a big surprise because Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, everybody thought or fears that the National Front could have a majority, or everybody was certain, was sure that even without a clear majority, National Front will be the first party in France, which is not the case. It's only the third party, even if there were the first party in the first round of election. And so, once again, the fear to give the keys of France to this party has created a very strong mobilization. So the National Front is not considered as a normal party by most of the French people, by at least two-thirds of French people consider that National Front is not a normal party and is a threat for democracy. The challenge for the new government is to find a majority and to deliver something to the people. Otherwise, Marine Le Pen could win the presidential election in 3 years from now. And so if there is no improvement of the social situation, no improvement of the economic situation, Marine Le Pen could be a strong contender for the next presidential election. And I will say that to a certain extent, it's not so bad news for Marine Le Pen because she has prevented Jordan Bardella to become prime minister and to be an internal challenge for her. And I feel that the deception of her militants will create a new mobilization of her partisans to do best in the next election. So the real challenge is the new government, whatever it is, could deliver something to people. Even a minority government could cancel the retirement retreat with some votes from the left to the far right, because even the Rassemblement National was agreed to suppress this reform. So you could deliver some law with different majority according to different law. But it won't be an easy test, of course. It won't be an easy test. And so that's why it's the threat, it's to come back to the Fourth Republic, the French were happy to give up to the Fourth Republic when de Gaulle came to power. And so if for any text you have a long negotiation between different parties, perhaps there is some fatigue regarding this negotiation, and so it could appear as so dirty things to the people. So maybe Marine Le Pen is hoping that a new government will be prevented to do something real. Many of his congressmen were furious of the dissolution. They come back weaker than they lived. And so it was really a very dumb decision. And even his own supporters thought that it was a mistake to dissolve National Assembly. And plus the fact just before Olympic Games. And so, of course, he is weakening not only on international stage, but also on national stage. And maybe he was Jupiter. He's no not perhaps as the King of England, but he won't be as a French president used to be. I mean, the one who concentrates all the power is in own hands. Everything is prepared, and the Olympic Committee is independent from the government. The only fear is to have a ministry from the extreme right receiving the world. And you know, the French sports movement was highly mobilized against National Front because many athletes are black or from or Muslims, and they have suffered from discrimination when they were young. And so look, for example, the French football team was highly mobilized against National Front. And so the only thing is to have a Ministry of Sports from the National Front during the games. So we won't have that, but even with that, the one who are in charge of Olympic Games are the president, the mayor of Paris, and above all, the Olympic Committee organization, which is totally independent from the government. And so everybody is ready. The games will start in 2 weeks from now. And so I think that everything is already planned.